Everybody, before you move on, everyone has to touch this dinosaur bone.
Okay.
This is a real live dead dinosaur.
I can't touch it.
Real.
I'm not gonna touch it. That is cool.
It's cool, right? It's kind of smooth. So that's a long neck dinosaur. So this is from the arm. That's right there. Cool, right?
What for you to teach us, Ethan?
Sid, what do you guys think that this is?
A lizard, like a little chicken.
A lizard? A chicken? What does it look like?
It looks like a scorpion.
I got lizard, chicken, dinosaur, scorpion. A dinosaur doing a dance? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it does look like it. Head cocked back.
That bird thing.
Bird thing? Could be.
Bird thing.
Let's look at the features. Let's say you're a paleontologist and you just cracked open a rock and you just found this yourself. And we want to figure out what it is. So let's look at some of its features. So it kind of looks like a bird, right?
Yeah.
But do birds have bones in their tail? Do they have a tail?
No.
No? Do birds have claws on their hands?
No.
Look closely in its mouth. Do birds have teeth in their mouth?
That's a mouth.
That's a mouth. Yeah, that's a skull. A raptor, maybe.
It's got like ribs right there.
Exactly. Look closely though. What do you see? What do you see around the bones?
Wings.
Wings. It's got feathers preserved in the rock around the bones. This is one of the most important fossils ever found in the history of the world because it's the oldest bird in the history of the world that we know of. So since it's got this perfect blend of characteristics between dinosaur and bird, this was the first line of reasoning that led scientists to think that dinosaurs aren't actually totally extinct. Birds are a kind of dinosaur. So when giant meat eaters like Allosaurus were walking in Utah 150 million years ago, and these small birds were flapping their wings in Europe alongside them, these guys were hunting and killing gigantic long-necked dinosaurs like this. This is called Diplodocus. So you'd think that this is kind of a small dinosaur by comparison to this Allosaurus, but this was actually probably like 100 feet long. And this weighed maybe 20 tons, so that's like 4 giant African elephants. But they had these little itty-bitty heads. So while Allosaurus was a much smaller dinosaur, it had this gigantic head because it had to hunt and kill dinosaurs like this one. They're like pegs, sort of. See those? Peg teeth? They're not very sharp, are they?
No.
What are they designed for?
Probably to like plants.
Plants? Not chewing though, are they? They're not good for chewing. Do they look good for chewing?
No. Because it doesn't have like
Molars. Yeah, exactly. No molars. Just little pegs. The bones themselves actually went away a long time ago, but what happens is when an animal dies, sometimes if it dies near water or gets covered in water after it dies, when the flesh rots away, the bones become covered in all sorts of sand and silt, and over time that hardens. And when the bones degrade and go away, there's a perfect shape in the rock left where the bone was. And all these minerals and stuff that surrounded the bones go inside the bones. So these aren't really the bones of dinosaurs, they're exact natural copies of animals that lived 150 million years ago.
So are we 100% sure how dinosaurs died?
You mean at the very end?
Yeah.
Well, there's some ideas. There's 2 really strong ideas. Whoops, almost decapitated him again.
And volcanoes.
We know that an asteroid hit. You're close. Both of those are spot on. We know that an asteroid hit. But what they die of starvation and thirst from? What happened to make that happen?
The like
Both, same time.
the T-Rexes were meat eaters.
Yeah.
And then all the other dinosaurs died, so they had to eat plants, but they didn't want to, so they died.
When the thingy came down and hit Earth, it probably dried up all the water, and a lot of them died. So
Yeah. You guys are both kind of right. Because all nature's interconnected. So when an asteroid comes in and kills a bunch of it blocks out the sky and kills the plants, then the plant eaters have nothing to eat. And when the plant eaters have nothing to eat, what do the meat eaters eat?
Nothing.
So when the plant eaters go away, then the meat eaters go away, and then you're left with no dinosaurs. So in the entire history that human beings have lived, it's only been really a handful of generations that we've known that anything came before us. That there were dino birds living in Europe, or giant long-necked weird reptile things living in our backyards.